Us neutrals, Krzysztof Ratajski pulling off a sensational comeback from 4-0 and 5-1 down to beat the Grand Slam champion Gerwyn Price in a 6-5 thriller. Now, fifth seed Adrian Lewis didn't look too bad at all as he brushed aside Adam Hunt 6-2 in his match. So this one, which way is he going to go? No idea. Here's John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the action. We're coming to you live from Butlins, Minehead. Second round action of the Ladbrokes Players Championship Finals. Time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the Polish Eagle, Krzysztof Ratajski, and Jackpot, Adrian.
Well, Chris Mason and Stuart Pike rather enjoyed watching Krzysztof Ratajski's heroics against Gerwyn Price last night, but can he match that performance now against AD Lewis?
It was phenomenal, phenomenal. It really was. He averaged 119 in the last 5 legs. If you are just joining us or didn't know, it was just, you know, as I say, darts from the gods. Average. The famous Sid Waddell once said, and 119 over 5 legs to come from 5-1 down, and
average
Price,
darts per leg,
yeah,
from Ratajski in that was 13.3, and Gerwyn Price was 13.8. The only real disappointing factor of that match, it was only best of 11. I'd like to have watched something like that over best of 31.
Yeah, Adrian Lewis looked something like, didn't he, in his win over Adam Hunt in the opening round. Krzysztof Ratajski, if I'm not mistaken, has now won 15 consecutive Players' Championship matches, because he won both in the last 2. Last weekend, he joined an exclusive club by winning both tournaments. Beat Adrian Lewis in one of the finals as well, didn't he?
Yep.
So, bit of revenge, maybe.
Repeat or revenge. Good start. Starting where he finished off.
140.
Yeah, that was just, it was an incredible double weekend. Beat Chris Dobie in one of the finals,
43.
and then beat Adrian Lewis in Players Championship 22, the very last event. But, you know, already in the World Championship. And don't forget that, you know, his achievements, you've got to say, magnified by the fact
58.
that he hasn't got a talk card. He was one of the shocks, really, of qualifying last January.
And he did it in the European.
Yeah, he went to the European Q school, where you'd think that he would have managed to get a talk
Well, it's
card,
definitely
but
the
he
easier
didn't.
route, with all due respect.
Yeah, he didn't.
But this is a guy that's a former World Masters winner. Like I said, won back-to-back Players' Championships, and he's quoted at 200 to 1 on him to win the Worlds. I think that's an outstanding little punt.
And of course, those back-to-back wins got him here.
140.
They've got him a tour card as well for the next 2 years, whatever happens. They got him into the Grand Slam. They won him 20,000.
Good couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, Gerwyn Price was playing like a dream, 5-1 up, and he didn't do too much wrong. He didn't actually have a match dart.
Well, his level didn't dip. He maintained that 105 average throughout that session.
137. Krzysztof, you require
Pressure
104.
already on the Ratajski throat. Needs to take this 104 out. treble 18 for double 16.
No, so Adrian with an opportunity.
72.
I just wonder, you know, Adrian Lewis, whether this could be his moment to get back in the big time this weekend. Well, that is a commentator's curse. 20.
He actually tried to play, well, he tried to play left of the 20 to try and leave the bed open. And that's why,
right in the middle that time.
Second leg, Adrian to
I remember when Andy Hamilton went through a phase where if he wanted 60 with 3 darts in his hand, he'd actually play for the segment of the 20 below the treble, so not to block out the double. It's bravery. 2 blasts in the past, actually. Hamilton and Wes Newton have qualified for the
lakeside, haven't they?
The lakeside.
Adrian Lewis just needs, for me, some big win just to get him back in the big time. You know, he's also chasing a spot in the Premier League. He needs a big tournament here or a big World Championship to reclaim his spot there.
77.
But you know, natural ability.
Right.
Yeah, well, it is. It is. True story. I'm probably going back nearly 20 years here, Chris. I went down to do a preview piece with Phil Taylor, head of a big darts tournament. It just so happened that there was a very tall, thin teenager practicing with Phil Taylor.
174.
There's a brilliant 174 comes in from Lewis, and it was this man, Adrian Lewis, and Phil Taylor, he made me a cup of tea. We were talking, they were practicing, and he said,
59.
and I know, like you said, a lot of players will tell you that these kids will be big, they'll win world titles. So believe you me, this guy will win a world title. That's 20 years ago.
174.
174, 109.56 average. Salutes the crowd.
Treble 19 for Bull. Would have got
80.
Lewis's heart racing a little. So double 8 for 2-0. Not a bad marker, just down the side of that one. There we go.
2-0 it is. Joe Cullen, by the way, over on stage 2, was 2-0 down to Steve Beaton. He's turned it round. He leads 5-3. I wonder if it is going to be a repeat of that epic World Match Play quarter-final when Gary Anderson beat Joe Cullen in extra time.
96.
At the moment, Cullen is a leg away from setting up a last 16 clash with Anderson here tonight, almost certainly on this main stage.
That was a match play monster. That was the Gary Anderson 9-darter as well, wasn't it?
And it's when, if I'm not mistaken, Cullen missed darts at double 18 and double 9 to win.
I've seen a lot of that lately with players that have had chances to win, and
100.
the person it's been against have gone on to win it. And it all started with Rob Cross at the beginning of the year. Michael Smith having darts, Michael Van Gerwen having darts. First 180 for Lewis.
Well, why not? Why not? I don't have a problem with that, with Lewis back on 2-6-1, and he could see a way through. The way his darts go in, there was a big gap in the middle.
125.
Well, they're quite flat, aren't they?
Krzysztof, you require 125.
Should go Bull. Treble 20 for tops. The 12-darter.
105. Adrian, you require 136.
2 treble 20s. Double 8.
Double 8.
120.
It kissed the wire.
Moved it.
Kissed the
Krzysztof, you
wire.
require 20. Games from the third leg. Krzysztof Ratajski. Fourth leg, Adrian to go first. Game on.
Nearly 3-0, and you think with a double breaker thrown, well, with Ratajski, you just don't rule anything out.
Do not write him off.
134.
Very, very special player.
But Lewis reached the finals here in 2014 and 2015. You may remember, lost to Gary Anderson,
140.
lost to Michael van Gerwen, 11-6 on both occasions. Last year, beaten the last 16 by Rob Cross. This year, playing absolutely beautiful. Adrian Lewis's average is just shy of 115, 2 180s, 2 174s.
Cullen has just done the job, sorry Stu, over on board 2, beaten 6-4, but at 5-4, beaten wanted 1-3-2. He hit the ball, hit the treble 14, just clipped the wire on tops to take it to a deciding leg.
81.
So it is Joe Cullen and Gary Anderson in the last 16.
What a matchup that is.
Michael van Gerwen will be playing Stephen Burton. What an opportunity for that young man. Burton beating Darren
98.
Webster.
Been impressed with what I've seen of him so far.
6 for tops.
66.
He'll be back. Ratajski, 206. Chance to have that 2-leg cushion back. Lead 3-1. Break after 5 legs.
60.
Should mention, by the way, the winner of this will play Danny Noppert, the Dutchman beating Mervyn King in a deciding leg earlier.
The worst draw in the world, with all due respect.
Games from the 4th leg. Adrian Lewis.
I have to say, you know,
5th
he
leg, Krzysztof to go first.
just looks
Game
very,
on.
very good, doesn't he?
Well,
Adrian
I
Lewis.
followed him on the Pro Tour and watched on the PDC streams and followed via Dart Connect and whatever else you can follow it by, and he has throughout the year on occasion
95.
put in numbers
He
like
has.
this.
Let me ask you a question then. Is it a case of Adrian rebuilding his career, or is it a case of Adrian just having to do a few tweaks?
Yeah, I just think he tried to become
134.
almost a manufacturer type player, and I've always said that these flair players who just rely on feel and just that natural ability, if you slow that down and you give them too much time to think about what they're doing, and that was when the errors started to sort of pour into his game. If you look at him, the last 2 matches he's played, been absolutely outstanding. The average didn't say it all in his first match, because there was that 1 leg that ended up going 27 darts, but outside of that, he was superb.
$140.
I think at this tempo, you'll see
60.
the best of him. Well, we are.
Krzysztof, you
We're
require
into the 5th leg, and he's
130.
averaging 106.64. The evidence is there. 130 here for Ratajski.
Well, Krzysztof on 103 himself.
Yeah, he's not doing a lot wrong.
58.
Oh, another one of those 174s would be handy here, Stu,
Yeah.
to leave tops.
$60. Krzysztof, you require 72.
So many options here off of 72.
Double 18. No, that's awkward. The flight isn't helping.
36. Adrian, you require 100.
Could go 2 treble 19s and tops. Yeah, that's what he's doing. And that's what he was going for, I can assure you.
48. Krzysztof,
I'm not
you
sure
require
he knows
36.
what he was going for in the end. Ratajski to stay in it at 3-2. This is a really classy end to the afternoon session of day 2 of the Players' Championship Finals. Adrian Lewis, a break to the good with his nose in front, but we know what Krzysztof Ratajski can do. A thrilling finale guaranteed. Lewis against Ratajski for a place in the last 16. Lewis 3-2 up. Terrific weekend, always is here at Minehead in March for the UK Open Finals and in November for the Players' Championship Finals, and this weekend is just no exception. Adrian Lewis and Krzysztof Ratajski fighting it out for the last place in the last 16.
Yes, nicely poised, this one. Just the one break of throw.
Sixth leg, Adrian 2, throw
It's
first.
advantage
Game
slightly to Adrian Lewis. But as we've seen from Ratajski, never ride him off. That's a fallout
61.
more than a bounce out, I think.
Yeah, hit the barrel, didn't it?
Yep. Took
Oh,
the
just joining us, I can confirm Joe Cullen hit 5 180s in his 6-4 win over Steve Beaton.
137.
Arguably the big quarter-final.
100.
We'll see Cullen take on Gary Anderson. It looks like the tie of the round.
Well, if it's even 80% as good as their match play match, we're in for an absolute treat. So are you at home.
136.
Well, here comes Krzysztof. It was after the break against Gerwyn Price that he just went berserk. Lewis here
81.
struggling out of the break as he tries to hold throw, and Ratajski has the darts.
Yeah, 9 darts thrown, not even halfway through the leg. For the first time in the match, Ratajski has the higher average. 103. Adrian Lewis is just over 100.
99. Krzysztof, you require.
He's left
94.
160 just in case. He may go treble 18 because of Adrian being on that 160. Treble 20, double 8. He's played it safe. Oh,
46.
that was a
Adrian,
poor
you
last
require
dart. That means instead of
160.
having 3 clear darts at a double,
We
may
saw
only
Anderson
get 2.
take out 160, didn't we?
Yeah.
Stunning win over Whitlock.
Well,
60.
Whitlock's been playing really well of late, and he just brushed him to one
Well,
side.
this is so disappointing for Adrian after the break. 15 darts on his own throw, and he hasn't had a dart at a double. Well, he hit 16 to lead double, but has he left it awkward?
Doesn't look very nice.
It's a blocker dart.
Yes.
Oh, well done.
Games on the
Well
sixth
done. He
leg.
could only
Krzysztof
see the top
Ratajski.
little bit of the bed. You can see there,
Seven
right
legs.
See
through
what
the
he could see.
flight.
Throw first. Game on.
3-all. Advantage Ratajski now. Danny Noppert for the winner, just to remind you.
Yeah, back on throw now, aren't we? So it is advantage Ratajski.
46.
I know he's now more or less said, well, here we are, mate. Have it back.
Seven.
Just forcing, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that is the key thing. Michael Smith, exactly the same. Adrian Lewis, them type of flair throwers. They've got to try so hard to not actually physically try to throw them, because as soon as there's effort and they engage the tricep, that's when you'll see it. They'll lose the line left and right. That's better. He needs a little bit more fluidity.
85. $97.
Needs a max to get back in the leg.
Well, at 3-1, he was just playing delightfully.
58.
Hasn't been able to buy a big treble since. Really hasn't. This is the 3rd consecutive leg where Lewis has really struggled with his scoring. He's gone from averaging 106 to 93.
94.
That tells you that over the last 3 legs he's been averaging a little over 80.
Yeah. And it's such a hard
96.
mix because you want to be aggressive, you want to attack.
He went for treble 14.
88.
Sets it up
That's all
nice
right.
though, leaves
Very
tops.
much so. Very
Only
much
thrown
so.
12. No, sorry, 15. Adrian Lewis thrown 12. And not halfway through the leg. His scoring really has dropped off.
68.
I just think
Krzysztof, you
if he
require
speeds
40.
up a bit,
Well, it stops him thinking. That's the idea of having a lot more rhythm to his throw. It
Yeah.
will stop him analysing.
you look back at when Adrian Lewis was at his pomp, winning all the
20.
big titles. There was no slight pause in the throw, and it was just
One motion.
It was flow.
There we
That's
go.
better.
140.
Well, there we go. I mean, probably the 3 quickest darts he's thrown.
Yep. Just has
May
to
not
hope.
make a difference.
Games on the
And
7th
Ratajski
leg.
here
Krzysztof
wins 3 on the spin.
First game on.
And the pole hits the front for the first time.
60.
It's a puzzle.
Well, you can see he's slightly bemused. He can't quite work out what's going on.
$140. 100.
Last one, but again, his throw is under pressure. Not a bad light for Ratajski, just lays them on the top.
60.
Okay, so Lewis has got away with that one. Just needs a 140, give himself a bit of a cushion. But everything's low in that 20.
134.
Great cover shooting.
So important for both players for different reasons, I think, to get through to the last 16 as Ratajski looks to...
Well, especially with Adrian, he doesn't want to stay at 16th seed, does he, for the 16 in the rankings for the Worlds, because that means a potential last 16 run-in with MVG.
100.
Down to 107 after 12 darts. Should be looking at 4 apiece and a best of 3 shootout.
Require 107.
100 left.
Tops it is.
87. Krzysztof, you require 146.
What a good dart that was. That was even better.
130.
That was a true game-on, game-over moment.
Fair play to Adrian, he was watching, didn't turn his back on it. Double 5, you feel, gotta get this to stay in the match. Oh dear, 3 darts he's missed.
Score.
And Krzysztof Ratajski for 4 legs on the spin.
Games from the 8th leg. Krzysztof Ratajski.
And he's thrown for the match from 3-1 down. He was 5-1 down against Gerwyn Price, and he won 6-5. He was 3-1 down against Adrian Lewis. Can he win 6-3? Can he make it 16 consecutive Players' Championship wins?
40.
Got a chance here.
86.
You can see him. Lip read, it's come on 80.
You kind of feel that it sometimes happens, and maybe it shouldn't, but you kind of feel that the break just took the sting out of Lewis.
Yeah, didn't come at the right time for him here. He's just not looked settled since then, has he?
$136.
Ratajski's just gone about his business.
He's
Nothing spectacular, but he hasn't needed to.
frustrating.
140. $96.
Well, can Lewis find a way to turn this round?
140. Krzysztof, you require 147.
What a way to win it. Trouble 17.
95.
Well, it's now or never
39.
for Adrian Lewis.
Break, hold, and then you're at 5-all. Thought it was in.
He did.
23.
Well, I guess it summed up his
Krzysztof
performance.
require
He was
52.
3-1 up, and he really was playing beautifully. But Krzysztof Ratajski has ground him down. And Krzysztof Ratajski goes through to the last 16. He's taken out Gerwin Price from 5-1 down. He's taken out Adrian Lewis from 3-1 down. And Krzysztof Ratajski continues to impress. It'll be Poland against Holland in the last 16 because Ratajski will play Danny Noppert later for a place in the quarter-finals. But Adrian Lewis is out.